inspirational and motivational here at Clubhouse. Get a better mindset and set your goals here at Clubhouse. Educational things you need to know here at Clubhouse. Like credit, home, buying loans, and much more here at Clubhouse. The space for education, motivation, and inspiration. Clubhouse. The space for education, motivation, and inspiration. Clubhouse.
Hey, hello everybody. Hello. Welcome to the Home Buyers Clubhouse, where we go live every Wednesday and every Friday. On Wednesdays, we give something inspirational and motivational, and on Fridays, we give something educational. Erica, how are you doing today, sweetheart?
I am doing great. Happy Friday to everybody. Seems like it's been a long
Yes.
time coming this week, but it's finally here.
Yes. Look, y'all, I'm so excited about this topic. We've a lot of people are always amazed. So today's topic is twofold. So today's topic is for our current homeowners. Today's topic is for our future homeowners as well. So whenever you go out and buy a property, we're going to talk about some things that you can look for whenever you're shopping for the property and some ways to maintain, because Erica, this was your idea to talk about this topic. Why do you
It
think it's
was.
important to talk about this topic?
Because I think a lot of times people are focused so much on getting the house, they
Mhm.
don't they have no idea what to do. Okay, now you bought the house, you've closed, you're in the house, and it's like, okay, well,
Mhm.
what do I do now? Like all those
Exactly.
the maintenance things, all the, just basic things that if you've never owned a house before or you don't have people in your circle who have owned a house, then, you have no idea what to do. So, felt like it was good to touch on
Ex
it.
exactly. So yeah, that's definitely a good intro. Erica, I'm gonna need you to do me a favor and just kind of talk to the audience. See how many future home buyers and homeowners we have right now. I have an inspection today and the inspector is calling me right now. So give me a second, okay?
Okay, no problem. So, for the people in the audience, I hope everybody is doing well. Some of the things that we talk about when you're looking to get a house. So now that you have gone through the whole process on purchasing your home, you've gone to the attorney's office, and now you have your keys. What do you do now? So there are a lot of things that people don't think about. Things like once you move into the house, you want to change your locks. You don't know how many people had locks or had keys to this residence before you. So I know when I purchased my first home, that was my first stop was the home improvement store so that I could get new locks for my home. So that I knew that I would be secure. I knew I was the only person that, had keys to that residence. So that would is what I would say would be the first thing that you do. And then you're also looking at things like, walk around the house, make sure it's everything as it was when you got it. By this point, you should have your utilities should be on already. So, your deposits for your utilities, all of those things have been paid at this point. You want to make sure things like your hot water heater is at a temperature that works for you. Because the last people that lived there, they may have liked their water really, really hot. You may have young children, and that may not be something that you're okay with at your house. So those kind of things. Deep cleaning. A lot of people want a really deep clean before they move in, and that's something that, you can schedule beforehand if you don't want to do it yourself. Um, with the stress of you having to move everything, coordinate with movers, all of that, some people just they don't have time to get that thing done. And so that's one less thing that is off your list. So again, whether you want to do it or whether you want to have someone else do it, then usually that's something that you would do then as well. Another thing that a lot of people don't think about is fire extinguishers, and carbon monoxide detectors. Does your home have these? When is the last time they've been serviced? Is that something that you want to then pick up so that you'll have that in your arsenal when you're ready? So that's another thing. So, Jessie Lynn, welcome back. So, what we've talked about so far is just a few things that they can do once they purchase the home. So, I've
Uh-huh.
talked about changing the locks.
Yep.
I've talked about deep cleaning, whether you want to hire somebody or whether you want to have someone do that yourself. And then I've
Mm-hmm.
also talked about checking your hot water heater. You want to make
Yes,
sure you
yes.
see whatever the temperature is there. And then fire extinguishers and carbon monoxide detectors is where we were.
Yes, that's great advice as well. Audience, who do we have in the audience that's currently a homeowner who's a future buyer? What are you? Are you a future homeowner or are you a future buyer? Well, that's the same thing. Are you a homeowner, current homeowner, or are you a future buyer? So yeah, definitely. So yes, that's good advice, Erica. Definitely change the locks, schedule a deep cleaning, unpack. I know for myself, sometimes, as a service, that's what I offer to my clients. Like I have some sellers right now with the deep cleaning. She's been stressed out there and they're selling, stressed out, a lot going on. So I just messaged her the other day and she thought it was the best thing. My closing gift to you guys, I will hire someone to deep clean the property. So she's absolutely excited about that because that's just like the best thing that you could
Hmm.
ever. Another thing that you could do also is meet your neighbors. I'm not a neighborly person. I would speak, I would wave, I would say
Yeah.
hello, hi, but it's definitely a good idea to introduce yourself to your neighbors as soon as possible. This would help build relationships and then make you a make you as a new neighbor feel good or whatever. So yeah, so those are just a few things, but these are some things, that you can do as soon as you close on your new home. By following these tips, you can make sure you transition, your transition a little bit easier. So now let's talk about some things because a lot of us don't realize, as a homeowner, and this is what the most important thing that we talk about here is, buying a home is us trying to build generational wealth, and we always talk about, buying a home, build generational wealth. We talk about equity. We talk about all of this all the time, but we never talk about how to make sure you maintain your piggy bank. And some things that you need to do is if you buy a car, you're going to make sure you get the oil change on that. So we're going to talk about
Hmm.
the preventive maintenance that you want to do on your home. Because for me, as a real estate agent, whenever I roll up in that property, sometimes I can kind of tell what I'm about
Right.
outside at that front door. I kind of already know what this home is about to be like on the inside. And my buyers, that's the first thing they say too. Well, if it looks like this, I can only imagine what the inspection is about to look like. So, yeah. I,
Yeah, I've seen. I went to an open house one time, and there were trees growing out of the gutter
mhm.
where, like, it was like a pine tree. So, and it had a little. It was probably like maybe 4 feet tall. So it just didn't start growing like yesterday.
Mhm.
So that was one thing that I kind of felt like was like, oh, okay.
Yes, but that's one thing that we have on our preventative maintenance list is clean your gutters. You need to make sure your gutters, they are responsible for draining water away from your home's foundation. And we
Hmm.
know that with anything, whether it's a relationship or whatever, that the foundation is important. So you need to make sure you're taking care of it. So if your gutters are clogged, it's gonna leave leaves there, it's gonna cause debris to build up there also, and then they won't be able to do their job if they are dirty. So that's why you may see people on TV all the time cleaning their gutters and talking about it, but they're not just talking about it because they think it's cute or the gutters look nice on their house. The gutters are a very, very important part of maintaining your um, another thing a lot of people don't realize is, and a roof inspection. Um, we say that the foundation is important, the bottom is important, and so is the top. You know what I'm saying? So your roof is the most important part of your home. So it's important to make sure you have your roof inspected and checked on a regular. So look for any signs of damage, such as like missing shingles, cracks, or leaks. For me, I told y'all I've been fussing about my house for a while, right? On Facebook, I feel like I'm the only one that ever pressure washed my house, but my house is still the dirtiest house in the neighborhood. But I noticed stuff about my roof too. My house is on a hill, so it's kind of high, so I can't really see it unless I'm stepped all the way over into the neighbor's yard. But I can see up under it. So it's certain things that you do when you walk around your property because if you're not fixing it, like what you think is happening? Why do you think these
Well,
things are important on your property?
I will also say a couple of things about what you're talking about. So, a lot of
Mhm.
times, if your gutters aren't cleaned, it can back that water can then back up into the underneath the shingles of your house. So, not just the
Mhm.
foundation, but also the roof. And
Mhm.
then, as far as the missing shingles, stuff like that, I know a lot of times after a storm, you have these people who come around in the neighborhood and
Mhm.
offer to look at your roof and all of those type of things.
Yep.
So call a reputable person, not just somebody that's, walking around looking for stuff. So make sure that you do reach out to a roofing company. Um, check to see if they're accredited with the Better Business Bureau, all of those kind of things, so you can make sure that you are getting someone that's just not trying to scam you, that type of thing.
Definitely. But I've actually those people a lot of the times from what I've heard from previous owners, because a lot of the times when I'm going through neighborhoods and doing different things, from what I hear, they are roofing companies and they know that your insurance covers like if there's a storm, your insurance
Hmm.
covers hail damage. So that's why they're out there doing the inspections. I've heard neighbors tell me like, yeah, I'm waiting on the next hailstorm so I can get my roof replaced. So a lot of
And
people don't realize like
yeah,
that. So it's kind of like they're just letting them know, like, look, your insurance covers that, right? And we don't realize the damage that hell would do to your roof or your property. So
exactly.
yeah. So the next thing you want to do is you want to check your windows and your doors. Also, this is again preventive maintenance. And look, we're gonna get to the part that I know y'all probably waiting on. We're gonna get to it, okay? But you want to make sure you check your windows and your doors. Make sure they are in good condition and they are weather sealed. That light do not supposed to be coming through your door. You think it's there, it's normal. That's not normal. So make sure they are weather sealed. If they're not, they could let in cold air, and it also in the winter, and it also could let out air conditioning in the summertime as well, which could increase what your energy bill. So
Your
that's
bills.
why it's important.
So speaking
And
of
maybe
that,
one. Mhm.
Oh, sorry. I will tell you that I recently had a Duke Energy came out. They have a program where they
Mhm.
will come out and do an energy audit for your house to
Mhm.
see whether you are, whether you have leaky windows and all of those type things, trying to conserve water, all of that. So, if Duke Energy is your light bill company, or that if they provide the power for your house, that may be something that you want to check into. It's a free service, doesn't cost you anything,
Well,
but they'll actually schedule somebody to come out and look at that for you.
yeah, I'm on the town, city, whatever you want to call it. I'm on them and they come out and do it as well. So if you think
Okay.
your utility bill is a little bit higher than it should be, they'll come out and check the water, make sure you don't have any leaks and different things like that. So yeah, but I remember when I used to work at Lowe's, especially around the time it started getting cold, we used to sell out of all the weather strip. But again, you don't want to wait until it starts getting cold. That's something that you want to maintain year round. So
Hmm.
I have some advice for you guys later on with that as well. Some other things that you want to do is you want to make sure you're cleaning your appliances. And when I say appliances, I'm not talking about your fridge or something like that. You want to make sure that appliances such as your furnace, your water heater, your oven, that's one that needs to be clean. They need to be clean on a regular because it keeps them running efficiently. If you don't clean them, they could build up dirt and dust, and also it could cause things to break down. And again, we have tips later on, so we're going to go into that. You want to make sure you test your smoke detector. You probably heard mine going off in my daughter's room. That beeping sound that's not supposed to happen. There's actually a battery on the inside of that thing that you can change. But me being the responsible mother that I am, I try to teach my child responsibility, and she could care less. Less. Every time I call her, I'm like, "Mama, you still haven't changed that battery." What? It went off. You kind of get used to it. I promise y'all, it's not supposed to happen. A 9-volt battery, just stick it in there. But at least once a year, you need to make sure you are testing your smoke detectors. They are important. They are there for a reason. Is that they are there for your safety, and you need to make sure that they are working properly and replace your batteries every 6 months. I know said check it at least once a year, but you're supposed to replace your batteries every 6 months. Okay.
And a lot of people do those when the time changes, just
Mm-hmm.
because, that changes twice a year, and
Yep.
that's something that's doable. So, yes.
Yes, yes. So look, I'm certain whether you are renting, you are owning, or buying, you've seen some of these issues that I am about to mention right now, that we are about to mention right now. Buyers, you need to understand that it's important that you look for these things while you are shopping, while you're shopping for a home. These things right here can is definitely going to tell you how well maintained this property is and what your inspection report is probably about to look like. So yeah, wait, buyers, it's important, while you're shopping. Sellers and owners, it's important for you to pay attention to these things because it'll make the buyer's inspection a lot less overwhelming. And again, if you're not thinking about selling right now, maintenance is very important. And this is why we are talking about it because again, you don't want to think about this in about 10 years whenever you decide to sell, or 5 years, or 3 years whenever you decide to sell. It's just like your car. If you take care of it, it's going to take care of you. So now that I know you're thinking that many things probably you may probably think like, no, I'm good. I'm not having these issues or whatever. But have you ever seen like a water leak whenever you turn on the faucet? Like that's not normal. That's not supposed to happen. But sometimes, especially I know how I grew up and how some of us grew up, we think it's normal because we just leave it that way. But that's not normal, and it could definitely save you some money in the end, and a lot of maintenance issues at the end of the day. So let's kind of talk about it. So one thing is plumbing. Plumbing is always number one. Again, plumbing. I know. I'll tell y'all that in a second. But plumbing, a leaky faucet. So this is a common problem that can be caused by a variety of factors, right? So such as loose connections, and we know that worn washers. I used to work at Lowe's in the plumbing department, and you would be amazed. A lot of people don't realize that you don't have to replace your faucet every time it leaks. They don't know that. You go to Lowe's, they sell all these little parts that I'm mentioning right now. So I'm
Mhm.
very familiar with every last one of them. So you got loose connectors, you have worn washers, or a damaged faucet that you're probably gonna have to replace that. So to fix a leaky faucet, you will need to identify the source of the leak, and then you need to make necessary repairs. And one thing that a lot of people ignore is a clogged drain. This is another common problem. My drain stay clogged because I wash my hair in the shower. But this is another common problem that causes a variety of things, such as hair, food in your kitchen sink, or grease. So, to unclog a drain, you need to make sure you get a plunger or get some Drano, some kind of chemicals to fix it, or just a snake, not a snake that's outside, a drain snake. Got anything you want to add, Erica?
I would say also, a running toilet. That is a super easy fix.
Mm.
Um, I remember the very first time that my toilet was running like that, and just the constant water you hear running in there. I called my dad, and he was like, "Well, you can call a plumber." So I called the plumber, and he was like, "It's gonna be $75 just for me to come out and look at it." And I was just like, $75 for you to just look at it? And I'm thinking, oh my God. So I called my dad back, and he was like, well, I mean, you could probably go to Lowe's and fix it. I went to Lowe's. I got the part for $8.95 and fixed it myself. And since then
Yes,
I've done it for other friends. I've done it
YouTube.
for it's super easy. So when you
It
buy a
is
house, I will tell you the home
YouTube.
improvement stores will be your best friends.
And for me, when I used to work at Lowe's, it was funny because when I used to work in plumbing, people didn't think I knew. I worked plumbing and electrical, so I know all this ish, y'all. Just an FYI, but I ain't gonna tell y'all. Just like I did at Lowe's, I'm not gonna tell y'all how to do it, but I'll show you how to fit some parts and point at a sign. But yeah, people used to look at me all the time in Lowe's and be like, can I get some help over here, bruh? I am your help. What you need? Hold on, my earphones went out. Mic check. Okay, there we
Like
go.
I worked at a home improvement store way back in the day as well. So yes,
Mm-hmm.
I definitely know that home improvement stores when you're a homeowner is definitely the place that you want to be. Whether
Will
it's
help.
Home Depot, Lowe's, Ace Hardware, wherever. There's always a part to fix whatever it is you need.
But that's the thing, like with my faucet, when they done my property inspection, and I know this as a real estate agent as well because I've heard it on so many inspections. So one of the is this pipe is like a flexible pipe, so you can kind of adjust stuff. They don't like those because those can cause issues. It can cause like debris and all kinds of grease and everything to get caught up in the grooves on the flexible pipe. So that did start leaking sooner or later. We'll fix it and it start leaking again. It'll fix it, start leaking again. Put a bucket under there, leak it, and like we ain't gonna use this side of the sink. And I'm like, why are we messing around? Why don't we just get this fixed? Or call a plumber if you can't get it. Like you gotta do it because you're gonna have some issues. You may have some bugs, some insect issues later on if you don't fix these leaks. Your When I moved here, also like my cabinets, you can see up under the cabinets or whatever. But I got this home for sale by owner, so I always really knew I was gonna have to fix some stuff. And in my cabinets, you can just see where the base of it, so you can tell that somebody ain't done something with the dishwasher. That maybe the dishwasher leaked or something like that. But this is why it's important for y'all to check your connections because they could easily come apart all the time. Let's talk about your electrical. So like your power outages, that's not normal either. This is a common problem that can be caused by a variety of things, such as storms, down power lines or trip breakers. But the biggest thing is like the trip breakers. So to deal with the power outage, the first thing you need to do is you need to make sure you check your Well, listen, let me be clear. I'm not an electrician. I'm not a certified electrician, but I'm just giving you some info. Okay, that's all I'm saying. I gotta be clear. I don't want y'all to go out there and electrocute yourself or anything. It's just a
And be
breaker.
like, well, Jesse Lynn said to do this, so that's
No,
why I'm doing
stop.
this.
Let's be very clear. I'm not certified to do any of this stuff. Okay, let's be really clear. But the first thing you need to do is make sure you check your breaker, if to see if the breakers have been tripped. And a lot of people don't even know that, and you would be surprised because a trip breaker it can cause stuff to go off. It's made to do that. So if so, you can reset the breaker and then check your appliances to see if they're working. And another thing that I see that's common in homes also is the GFCIs. A lot of people don't realize because when I moved here, I didn't realize that the one on the outside is connected to all the GFCIs. I was like,
But
what?
a lot of
Like
people don't know what that means. I will say a lot of people don't know what that means. However, I will tell you, YouTube University will get you a long way.
ground fault breakers, y'all. They are set in places that's around water. So if your breaker is around water or something like that, it's gonna trip. And now they make it to kind of connect multiple breakers to the other breakers. So if your breaker trip in your bathroom, it can cause your breakers to trip in your kitchen or something like that. So just kind of go around if something trips, if it's not in your breaker box outside, just kind of go around and check your breaker boxes that's inside the house in the areas where like your kitchen and your bathrooms and stuff like that.
And
Because
what she's
again,
I would
go
say
on.
what she's talking about is the outlet that you see has that little button in there that says reset. So there's the outlet. So you have usually one outlet. Sometimes it's near a kitchen, a bathroom, stuff like that. It's that one that has that little R button in the middle where you can press it and it'll pop out. That's what that is.
And another thing is loose outlets. A lot of people don't realize that, but that's a simple fix. Again, I'm not an electrician, but the easiest way to do that is just tighten the little screw that's on the side of that. So yeah, that's it for electrical. We have HVAC issues. It's so many things that you can do and some ways to maintain that as well. And I forgot to mention this earlier. And someone I had a seller last time we talked about this. They really aided it because they didn't even know that they had to change their filters in their house.
Mhm.
So
Yes.
make sure you are changing your filters at least every 30 days whenever you buy your property because this will help maintain your HVAC system as well. Some people don't realize like a broken furnace in the property, a faulty thermostat could cause a high electricity bill, and it could also cause a few other things, cause your heating not to work properly or your AC not to work properly. Your broken ACs. This is another common problem. Like again, a faulty thermostat, a dirty air filter just said that, a
Hmm.
broken fan, and to fix these things, you will also need to call a professional, period. But again, we talked about maintenance earlier. If you make sure you're maintaining these things, I'm not gonna say they're not gonna break, but it's gonna prevent a lot of these things from happening. Because again, the AC is messed up because it's dirty. This is messed up because it's clogged. So you just have to make sure you're maintaining these things. And another one that they used to come in Lowe's about is the water heaters. Sometimes they may leak. If they're leaking, they just need to be replaced for the most part. But not it unless it's like a loose connector or something on there. Y'all need to check those, a worn gasket. Or it could just be a damaged water heater, and that's when it needs to be replaced. Clock drains, we already talked about that, but same thing happens on your water heater as well, and throughout your property. All right. So, and how to prevent a lot of these things, again, your plumbing, just make sure you are inspecting your faucets on a regular and make sure you're repairing them. Keep your drains clean and unclogged, your electrical systems. Make sure you inspect your circuit breaker. Again, you need to have an electrician do that, and have them do any necessary repairs. Keep your appliances clean by dusting them on a regular and cleaning them. And same thing with your HVAC. Make sure you're changing your filters. Your water heater, you need to make sure there are no leaks and keep your drain clean by using a plunger or chemical drainer cleaner on a regular. Erica, did I forget anything, girl?
I think you covered just about everything.
All right. Well, with everything, y'all need to understand. You definitely don't want to forget about the little things. It's easy to focus on the big things like your roof and your gutter, but don't forget about the little things like your electrical outlets and your light switches. These things can also, again, they can get dirty as well and need to be cleaned on a regular. Be proactive no matter what. You need to make sure you're being proactive. Don't wait for something to break before you fix it. Again, don't wait for something to break. But if people say don't fix things, it's not broken. But don't wait for something to break until you fix it. And if you see a problem, take care of it right away because this will prevent damages and it will also make it easier to fix problems whenever they happen. And number three, make sure you're keeping a record of everything that you do because it's a good idea to keep a record of everything you do. Not only that, this will help you remember what you've done in your home and when you did it. It will also help you keep track of your progress and see how your home is doing over time.
I
Whew.
would say that's definitely a great idea. One of the houses that we looked at when we were shopping for houses, the person had written on the hot water heater every time they had the hot water heater flushed, it was on
Mhm.
the hot water heater, so therefore they didn't have to go look for those records. It was written in there on the Sharpie. And so I thought that was a really great idea because
Mhm.
that's what we're always looking for is, oh, I don't remember the last time I had this done. And
Mhm.
it was written there. So I thought that was really great and I plan to incorporate that.
I think that's pretty dope. I think you're supposed to flush it like once a year, right? But I
Yes.
I think it's kind of dope because with your filters. For me, I had plans to switch my filters on a but forget did I do it last month? Filter, and then you won't have to ask, did you do it? Because you
Mhm.
you you never know. So write the date on stuff. I think
Right.
that's a really good idea. What I used to buy my clients as a closing gift a few years ago, I used to get them like this binder from one of the real estate stores that we had. And it have all kinds of sections in there about all maintenance, all your receipts and everything that you need for your house. It's like your little house Bible. So that's something
That's
that you
probably
may
a
want to
really
look
great
into as
idea.
well. It is. And I stopped getting it because I wasn't sure if they were using it and they wasn't cheap. So although it doesn't matter, but still, you know what I'm saying? So
Right, right. You
yeah,
definitely want to get something they'll use.
mm-hmm. So, but yeah, take your time, y'all. No matter what it is, take your time. Don't rush. Always be patient and just keep going, man. Just keep going and just don't lose focus on what you're doing and why you are doing it. And if you need to, ask for help and just enjoy your new home. Enjoy it. Enjoy your new and your old home. Enjoy it no matter what. All right. All
Cool.
right. Yes, y'all. Well, thank you guys for tuning in today. We really appreciate you guys. For those of you guys who don't know me, my name is Jessie Lynn. I am a triangle realtor with A to Z Realty, and you can reach me at 919-818-9854. Miss Erica.
Hey, I am Erica Batts. I'm your mortgage loan officer. You can reach me at 919-608-7916, or you can reach me at ericabats.com.
And y'all can reach us in the clubhouse at www.thehomebuyersclubhouse.com. You can find us on Facebook in our group and on our page at Homebuyers Clubhouse. You can find us on YouTube at The Homebuyers Clubhouse. Look, y'all, I hope you guys have an awesome weekend. And we'll see you guys on Wednesday. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.
Bye.